rate was 9.7, an indication that rising cost of food prices across the country is a cause of concern and need to be looked at. And today we're going to talk to our correspondent in the Upper East region, the person of Samoa, and then John Samata in the Bono region to find out more from them, price of cereals including maize. Then we will switch to the Ghana Stock Exchange and talk to James Afo to do the analysis for the week. Before we do the analysis for the week, let's take the base language for today. Hello, we're going to talk to James Afo to do the analysis about the performance of the equities market from Monday to today. So we have on the line James Afo, who is the head of investment and securities at CDH Ghana. James, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Yako.
Great to have you once again. Now, good. Now let's go to the market for today's performance. We've seen there was a marginal increase of the composite index. That is 0.6 points. Which equities drove this increase that we're seeing for today?
Today, one price change was recorded, and there was again, as you've earlier on indicated, and that happened to be carbon. A stock price increased by 1 peso. That's from 74 peso to 75 peso to 76 pesos. So today, performance is basically driven by appreciation in the value of carbon stock.
But in terms of exchange of shares, how many equities exchange shares on the market today? Or traded shares?
For total trade, in terms of equity that exchange share, we recorded about 10 equities. That is MTN, EGL, Carbank, Societe Generale, Total, Pharma, RBG, and some slight changes in stocks like EcoBank Ghana as well.
All right. Now let's start from the Monday to today. The composite index has been a ding-dong battle, we can say so, because we started with the market cap 64.3, and then we are ending on today 64.0 billion Ghana cedis. Take us through that.
Yes. In all, it has been a mixed result, as you indicated earlier. Some prices have been declining in value, whereas in all, 7 price changes were recorded, 4 gainers and 3 losers. But then, MTN declined in value by 2.24%. And MTN happened to be the second most capitalized company on the stock market. So any marginal change in its price tends to affect the performance of the market significantly. So in all, I would say last week's performance was better than this week because apart from, though we recorded 4 price changes, which were gainers and 3 losers. But then as I indicated earlier on, MTN declined in value by this. MTN happened to be second most capitalized. So that actually brought the performance of the market down. So market cap for inside declined by 34%, that's 0.34%. Composite index declined by 0.73%. Financial stock index also went up by 2.25%, and that of year-to-date return, which basically measures the performance of the market from the beginning of the year. Today also declined by 2.24%. So that is what we have for this week.
All right. Thank you very much, James Afo, for this weekly analysis. Now we're going to take a soundbite from Bogatanga in particular to look at the rising cost of food prices in that part of our country, because our correspondent, Samoa, it was in the market and he picked a soundbite from some traders in Bogatanga. Let's take a listen.
Net 20 na K1 pensi na nya adwa no konko no 10 na rubber 10. Na jere no sukonko 20. Bucket 70 cedis.
Last year,
they say na board. Na jere bottle we 2.9.
Dear Queen in the Bessanco.
Jane na beba kakra. Tie rebro nyama na ne bo no.
What is the bump going to buy?
I think the coffee. Now cocoa bottle here 2 million. And the end cocoa bottle here 2.8. And now bottle tesiano. I think the corner now here 2.5. And then I had 3.5. 3.5 for the restaurant, a sound costume. And then you would say, I can't sit at 3.8. And I had until Sweden told you, and Yamana say, be a service says, bees I say, Abra say, I also say, and Sweden.
The bag you say, you're trying to buy you say now, 20 million. And these are so bag now. Bag and so, yeah, 6 million.
I took one.
And I took one to bag and so on, 5 million. And so you have to wait in fact.
No, so good. So good.
So on so yeah, 5 million. And so you have to wait. Yeah, young staff away for your cat. And never yet to a young toilet. Say, don't come on my own. Say, what was the rule? Infinite. It is a book on your side.
So these were some traders that our correspondent Ayama spoke to in Bolgatanga. Samuel, you're welcome.
Thank you, Edward.
Great to have you. Now, Samuel, just give us a snapshot of prices of some commodities that you've been privileged to have insight to via through the market or the traders on the at the Bolgatanga market.
Yeah, thank you very much. For Bolgatanga market, last year by this time, a bag of maize, and then when we talk of a bag of maize, we are talking about the big sack, that's the long one, and then they always come with different prices. That is the new and then the old, because as we speak, some farmers have started harvesting and they have started also sending them to the market or transporting them to market centers to sell them out. So the new one, as last year, the price exactly this time was selling at 150 Ghana cedis for the new one, and the old one, like by this time last year, it was 210 Ghana cedis. And then as we speak currently, the new one, those new one that it gets harvested and they sent to the market to sell, it goes for 240 Ghana cedis, and then the old one currently goes for 300 Ghana cedis. And then when we come to granules, last year it was 300 Ghana cedis, that is for the new one, then it was for 520 Ghana cedis. But currently, the granules, the bag goes for 480 Ghana cedis for the new one, and the old one goes for 600 Ghana cedis. And then for beans, last year, by this time, a bag of beans, that is the new one, was selling at 400 Ghana cedis, and then the old one was going for 600 Ghana cedis. But for currently, the new one at Bolgatanga market now goes for 600 Ghana cedis, and then the old one is going for 880 Ghana cedis. And then we come to millet. Currently, the bag goes for 400 Ghana cedis. That is for the old one. But the new one also goes for 350 Ghana cedis. And then we talk about rice. Currently, that is the 100 kg, the local rice now. It's just the old one, 480 Ghana cedis at the Bolgatanga market. But currently, when you go to the market, you don't see the new ones there because the farmers, the last time I visited Tono, they've started harvesting, and it's like it's now hectic because Currently, rice farming has become very lucrative. The market women from the southern part of the country, and then like the few that are in the system or within the upper region, when you harvest, they are just with you there to buy it from the farms. They don't even wait for you to send it home before they come to you for the rice. So for now, that is the price situation here in the upper east region. But another twist, the women that I spoke with, some of them are in the Bogatanga market here, some are also in the Binturi market. I'm just coming from the Garu market. And then in that part of the country, another interesting thing that is happening there is that prices of foodstuffs, that commodities in the market, are very high there. And the reason is that they did not have good yield, because as we speak, most of them at that area, they've done harvest them. And the issue they explained to me is that the rains did not come at the right time, so they are not getting a good yield this year. And then there's another revelation currently at that particular end of the country. When they were applying their fertilizer, they were not having access to the subsidized fertilizer, that's the PFG fertilizer. But the open market too, those at the open market that were able to have access to they were the cocoa fertilizer rather. They did not get the Yara fertilizer, which is very good for like farming here in the upper east region, especially in that part of the country. So that is also contributing to they not getting good yield. The reason most of them are running to farm closer to the banks of the white water, because when they farm there, they don't need to apply fertilizer before they get good yield.
Okay. Thank you very much, Samuel Ayama, for that snapshot of commodity prices in the Bogatanga market and Biduru market. Now we're going to the Bono region. We have our correspondent, John Samata, also standing by to also take us through what is happening at the Sunyani market, because the surge in inflation that was witnessed in September, that was now about 10.6% as against 9.7% in August, it's an indication that yes, the price of food is going up, and therefore, as Bank of Ghana has put a band, according to the Bank of Ghana, expecting inflation to close the year 2021 8% plus 2. So we see whether we're going to get to that target as stated by the Bank of Ghana. But we have on the line John Samata to give us an overview. We're still trying to get in touch with him and find out more from him at in the Bono market, Sunyani market in particular, to find out more from him, because as we speak, we've seen that a lot of countries are experiencing the same, because there seems to be a surge in prices across the globe. You talk of the US, you talk of the UK, some shops you go there, you can't even get access to vegetables, because over there they are talking about climate change. They are also talking about the shortage of labor and even global supply chain disruptions, including lack of drivers to move these food produce or commodities from the farm gates to the various supermarkets. But Ghana's own is not like that, but we are being hit hard by erratic rainfall, and so we're trying to get in touch with John Samata to find out. John, still not on the line?
He's online.
Okay, let's pick John. John, hello, you're welcome.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now, John.
Thank you very much.
Now, John, you were in the Sunyani market. Tell us what is happening there.
Yes, and basically, listening to my colleague Samuel, it looks like the same story being told. Generally, prices are on the rise, and the general refrain when you talk to both traders and shoppers is that, yes, things are going up. And the major one, which is maize, because, you know, Bono region, apart from maize being one of the main crops that Ghanaians eat a lot, because of the poultry farming, which is very widespread in this region, the prices of maize is causing a lot of trouble, you know, for that sector. Just like is happening in the Upper East region, currently, as we speak, the old maize, which the poultry farmers crave, is going for 400 Ghana cedis. And last year, by this time, it was going for just about 200 cedis, with the old one, the new one with about 100 cedis. But now, as we speak, the old one is 400 cedis, and the new maize that is now coming on the market is around 200. And so for the poultry farmers, this is a major shock, because just between the period of just over a year, the prices of maize have quadrupled when you talk about the old one, which they really want. And this trend seems to be going on in all other crops, but for the vegetables, it's not that alarming. But for the tubers, cassava is quite abundant in the market, and the prices are quite cheap. For 5 big pieces of cassava tubers, you can have it for 5 cedis, and 3-4 big ones for 2 cedis. So cassava is not a problem. But the major problem is yam. Yams, 3 big tubers, you buy it for 50 Ghana cedis currently. And the market women tell me this seed time last year, it was around 30 cedis for big tubers like I'm talking about. But this time around, it's at 50 cedis. And the same goes for when you talk about the vegetables, tomatoes. Tomatoes is also, for the tomato 10, it sells for 20 Ghana cedis. Just around last year, it was 10 cedis. So like a doubling of the price. Garden eggs, pepper, onions, they are all going up slightly. And the market women tell me as we approach the dry season, it's likely the prices will go up again. But they are hoping with tomatoes that they say currently they're going all the way to the Volta region for tomatoes, but very soon the harvest in Bunahafo region and then the north is going to come onto the market, and it will push prices of tomatoes down. The same goes for, beg your pardon, the same goes for onion. Onion is also a bit on the high side now, but according to the traders, they expect it to go down as we get into the dry season, because they expect more produce to come onto the market.
Right.
So generally, the trend is that...
John, pause for a while. I want us to pick a soundbite from the lady you spoke to on the market, and then we'll come back to you to find out what are the drivers of this price increase on the market.
Sure.
Then I'm a bonfire thing, sir.
My brother, just at the 44, no, I'm about to be a Bruno. And to have my Bruno at home as a Metisano. Some
you soon so a contributive.
But I say, probably anyone you do, I say, do how on Soja on think of a Bruno Murphy. It's an insurrection and son of Cocofa. I don't have Mana Abasano.
A price of cost. You also buy Reno and Suno. Chama got in Suno, Emma by Rene Ban and Sunanto. And I buy Ranso BBI sitting on Subato, and we have a book at Cranen Suno, Anya Nama, especially Puna. Let's say, yeah, 3 for 50, and be a big size, and 60 crowd, and 50, 40, 30, 25, 20.
How many tubers? 3.
3. I see. Yeah, was by right say a DJ 40 no. My friends last year na 30. Say I drew no so crowd muntimin to drew. No no mo dey here.
Fertilizer.
Condemn no mo dey do asase no. Almost say prices no ko. Nja by right dey na boy dey mo.
John, that was a lady there talking about condemn. What exactly is condemn?
Condemn is one of the chemicals used in clearing weeds. It's used in clearing weeds these days.
Oh, okay.
And yes, one of the main reasons for this price increases, especially when it comes to the maize, you were alluding to climate change, in the U.S. and Europe, and it seems to be biting here with the erratic rainfall. The rains don't come when the farmers expect them, and it causes a lot of losses. Last year it happened, and this year it also happened. It looks like the rainfall pattern has changed. The major season, you find the rain not falling satisfactorily. But when it comes to the minor season, then it starts falling. And it causes problems for the farmers because when it falls, it's actually like it's doing currently now. It seems to be cutting a bit, but in a few weeks ago, it was raining incessantly, and cutting the produce from the farming from the farming centers became a problem because of the generally bad roads in most of the farming areas. But the major concern is the fact that farmers need some level of guidance on how to approach their planting this time around. Because the past 2 years, the current year included, the major season when the farmers plant, the rains don't come. And the minor season, when they're a bit cautious, that's when the rain comes. And it's really causing a big problem in the volume of the produce on the market.
So in your view, there's the need for collaboration perhaps with the meteorological department and the extension officers at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to be able to guide the farmers.
Exactly. But most importantly, we need to take irrigation very seriously. Most of the irrigation facilities in this part are either not functioning, or if they are functioning at a very low capacity. It looks like irrigation is not a priority now. But if you look at the way the rainfall pattern is confusing the farmers and the technocrats alike, then irrigation should be taken very, very seriously so that all the hope will not be on the rains, which we are increasingly getting to see that cannot be relied on to come when you expect them, the rains to come. So irrigation is something we have to look at critically so that the farmers can have some respite from this hanky-panky with the weather.
But I heard the other man saying that to him, the demand for maize is also very high. That is contributing to the surge in prices.
Exactly. You know, I mentioned the issue of poultry farming earlier, and they are taking a big chunk of the maize on the market because, you know, Bono Ahafo, the old Bono Ahafo area and the Bono region in particular, it's a poultry hub. When you go to Doma, all the three Doma districts, Doma Central, Doma West, and then Doma East, and then you come all the way down to Bono Ahafo, Sunyani area, Sunyani West, Tichiman, everywhere poultry is a really big thing. And so they are competing with the other users of maize, like the caterers, especially, and you know, like I said, KK, Bankun, a lot of maize dishes are quite popular, and so they're all looking for maize. But the poultry issue is a very, very, very big issue, and it's really led to shortages, with some poultry farmers having to sell off their birds cheaply because they could not just feed them or find the maize to feed them. When you get the maize, it's too expensive. But like I mentioned earlier, the price has quadrupled. So for a small farmer, you can imagine the shock that is to his business. So the demand for maize, like the chairman of the Area Dumasi Maize Farmers Association, a Maize Sellers Association, who we saw in the video, said the competition, the demand for it is a major factor.
Then it's a good news for those who have been able to make some harvest this year.
Exactly.
They're making a lot of money.
Yes, when you look at it from the farmer's point of view, it's a big, quote-unquote, cocoa season for them. You know, because while the prices have quadrupled, you can imagine somebody who farmed who managed to harvest big volumes of maize, is smiling all the way to the bank. So this is really good news for the farmers. And talking to the traders, from all indications, it's going to go up. It's still going to go up because the demand is for the old maize, you know, and we are entering the dry season, and so it doesn't look like the prices are going to come down anytime soon. So the farmers, I'm sure, will really enjoy their hard work this time around. That's my prayer.
I think that, John, perhaps next time you have to also position yourself and put some land under cultivation to make some money.
I'll tell you honestly, I have to think about it seriously.
All right. That was our correspondent, John Samata from Bono region, Sunyani specifically, talking to us about the price of commodity, specifically maize, which he says that it's gone up 4 times quadruple. All right, so this is how we draw the curtain for this week on Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyako. God willing, we meet next week. Shalom.